I think we were live there. We are. Bam! There we go. We are live. Darn. That's good stuff. It's good stuff. So we're going to be talking about a few things that are coming up, and that is going to be these career days. Yeah, the high school career days. Where is it and how is it and why? What really truly is the benefit to you on these things? So much to discuss, on that one. I definitely want to get to the whole thing. Definitely want to show you that you actually benefit in a way, and it's called clarification. Clarification. Maybe it's visualization on the student side, but could be clarification on your side. All right, so let's just go chat over here. We're going to bring in I'm going to add it to the stream, and that is what is coming up. So this one is at the Santa Maria School, and it's going to be in April. They're all of them are going to be in April. I could roll down there a little bit. I think we can make that work. So this is the Santa Maria School District in April. Date on that one is April 14th. It's a quick one, 9 to 11 o'clock in the morning. So where that'll be 3 different groupings of students coming through, 20-minute or so presentations. I'll be doing the opening comment on that one. But certainly if you had a business in and around that area, possibly looking to hire high school students, that would be great. If not, you're not looking to hire, you know what, it still is good because of that word clarification, that visualization clarification thing. Really important. Really important. So let us see if we can actually bring in another screen on that one where we show you what else is coming up. Because the other one that's coming up is going to be in Sachem. Yeah, we could pull it over there. We'll try to do this a little bit differently next time. Let's go back to StreamYard. Down here. We're good. Share screen. I'm going to share screen over to here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to do this as a PowerPoint. I think that'll be a lot easier next time around. That's not it. That's not it. That is not it. And that did not pick it up. Let's go with that one too. Let's get rid of that. And be nice if I knew how to do these things, right? Let's try that. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it here. We're going to keep working on it, though. Not exactly our best one here, is it? Google, boom, 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 boom. Nope. Not happening. Not good. Okay, I'll read through this one to you. And that is this one. This career fair is going to be April 27th. So the first one was April 14th. This one is April 27th. And that is at the Sachem High School North, the career fair over there. It's the same kind of thing, except for the fact this one is full day. This one is 7:30 in the morning till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't believe I'm making opening comments on that one. We'll definitely be there for that. And they actually put it up over here, what the benefits would be to you from a participation standpoint. And that is to support community engagement initiatives, share what skills are needed in the workplace. Could all agree on that. Build a positive corporate image. That's definitely on your side of things. Yeah, we'll have a camera there, without a doubt. Connect with future employees. Again, our high school students, and this whole big thing is out there about the fact that many students go to college. Many students go into vocational programs. Many students just go directly to work. What's the best path? Depends upon who you are, what you're looking to accomplish. And let me tell you, there are so many business owners that I've gotten to know that have gone straight on to work. Even in high school, they've started working. Or, now it's, very easy, not easy to have a successful business, but it's very easy to start a business. Those barriers to starting a business have broken down quite a bit. I mean, take a look at the commercials that you see on TV now, right? A lot of it is these not working on computers, but the home-based businesses. Watch those commercials. There's a lot of folks that are working someplace, want to start a side gig, maybe want to take that hobby they've had and kind of expand it out a little bit and take that through their retirement years. High school students, boy, there was one student we met. It was at Brentwood, one of these career days. And he had a clothing line. I mean, here is a kid in Brentwood. Now, let me rephrase that. Here it was, this entrepreneur in Brentwood. And he had designed some of the clothes and he was selling them online. Had no inventory, didn't really need inventory, but he was just selling the stuff online. Doing a great job at that. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to talk about being an entrepreneur, what it takes to do that, what skill set you need, what mindset you need, and all the rest of that. You know something? Hey, maybe there's something there for that one. So you've got the next one there is play a direct role in student growth and support career development. Playing a direct role in student growth and support their career development. Again, it goes back to what skills do we really need? What skills do they really need? What skills do we all really need in order to achieve the success that we're at, at this point in time? And it's different skills, different attitudes, different clarity that we all need as we continue on. And where does that clarity come from? Comes from you. And what is the benefit of this whole thing? Watch it, you. You'll hear it. You'll definitely hear it. All right, participants are promoted online. Okay, that's a unit for you. If you do go, make sure that you have your logo stuff. Good photo. XYZ Corporation, XYZ Limited Liability Company, XYZ working from home kind of thing. Whatever it might be, make sure that you've got your logo up there. Picture of your place if you have one, something that really is you, and that kind of thing. And then you also, and then this we could discuss in advance here about understanding the student interests and needs. What are their needs? What are the needs of the students and stuff like that? It really is quite interesting how that goes across the board. All right, and then the last one is unknown at this point in time as to what the date is going to be. Let me just get flipped back over here to the screen. All right, so let's go to comments and we're good there. So the last one though is with the Hauppauge High School. I had to think about what that one was. The Hauppauge High School, and I don't have a date on that one yet. So that is still up in the air or to be determined date. But when I do get that, I will let you know. So here's what's going on though from a logistical standpoint is that every one of these programs, I should move the monitor this way so I'm not looking sideways, right? Anyhow, every one of these programs are looking for businesses to participate. What kind of businesses? A wide variety. Why a wide variety? Students are a wide variety. There you go. It's just that straightforward. Now, where should these students be going in their careers? Do you know? How would you know? You don't even know the students. You don't know their names. You don't know what they're like. You don't know what their personalities are. You don't know anything about that. Are you expected to stand in front of the room or at your table and say, oh, yeah, you should be? What? They should follow in your footsteps? Maybe they should. Maybe not. And this really gets to that clarity kind of thing. So who are the students? Well, as much as we could possibly find that out in front of these things, we're going to do. So the folks that are coordinating it would be the workforce people over at the schools, whether it be CEO, Career Employment Options, that coordinates one of them for me, whether it be the Hauppauge High School, I think workforce person that's doing that. Somebody else had reached out to me on that one. So, but they'll know the students. They'll know the students that are attending these things, and it's different. It definitely is different. Look, we've had a chance to participate in some of the programs at these schools. And what they're trying to accomplish there is a little bit different. So is the DECA program, which is a which is a program for students to, I don't know what DECA stands for. Should really know that since I spoke in front of them. But what they do, they were designing a business and then they were presenting that business in front of a group of business owners and teachers in order to win the contest. And it was a bit of a contest that they were doing. But their goal there at that point in time was not to come up with an idea for a business. They already did that, but how to present that business, how to present that business in front of a group of judges. So that was their goal, much more on the communication side of things, communication skills than anything else. And I can tell you what an experience that was for me. I loved the whole thing. That was my first time speaking in front of a group of DECA students, so I didn't really know. But I sat down and I started talking to them, and I did you should be confident on stage and be comfortable who you are in your own skin as you're standing up there. Once you do that, start thinking about the audience. See, the usual stuff, right? Think about the audience first. Make sure they're understanding. You read the body language, et cetera, et cetera. But there was a few things that came out of that one for me. So there was one gentleman that was there, was like, oh, I'm from a different neighborhood and stuff like that. And it's like, and who's going to listen to me? Who's going to respect me? I was like, man, from that whole thing, it really became very clear to me that we all have stories. We all have reasons for doing things. I mean, that person was in that class for a reason. And the way we all look at things are going to be a little bit different depending upon what our backgrounds are and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, those stories, that drive, that all depends upon where we come from. So bottom line, I hope he learned something there about the fact that we all have our own stories, but he taught me a big lesson there too. And that is that authenticity thing. That's a lot of where I came when I talk about that. That's really it. Because that guy was there. He had the confidence to be there. He had the confidence to continue on. He was uncomfortable in the class, right? Because otherwise he wouldn't have said that. But he had the drive to be there. And not only that, he had the drive and the confidence to say what he said in front of everybody. And it wasn't a small group. So, man, it's there. It's in him to go and do that. I hope he went on to succeed, and I know he did. But that was great. And then I also had a chance at the same school to then speak in front of another group. And that was about the same kind of thing. It had to do with the fact that we all have different challenges that we face. Very true. But we shouldn't let those challenges stop us. We need to work around them and go through the whole thing. That was a big deal, speaking in front of the DECA students. But I had an idea as to why they were there. It was the confidence to communicate. And it was great that he said something, because that was a great example of confidence that we have within us. We just need to direct it in the right manner. That was beautiful. It was really, really good. So thank you to that school system for having me in for that one. Another group that we spoke in front of was Virtual Enterprise Group. This one was different. This one had to do with selling. So the Virtual Enterprise Group, what their goal was, and this was another classroom setting, big, decent sized group, but a classroom setting. And their goal was to come up with a business, a virtual business, right? And it was a made up business. But their goal was to come up with a business, come up with a business plan, present that business plan to a group of judges, and then to attend it was a virtual trade show. All right. It was no, actually, the first year it was a real trade show. They were going to a trade show. In other words, they were going to be at a trade show with other students, other classes, other high schools participating in something. And granted, the whole thing, everything was fake money and the rest of that. So nobody was really buying and selling anything. But they were really trying to sell things there to gain this subscriptions for the product that they were doing. So we knew basically what they were looking for in that one. And it was great, man. I went in there with somebody, we were talking about presentation skills. Went in there with about boothmanship. Yeah, how to handle stuff at a trade show. It was great. It was great. Went in there also with somebody who's a real true sales coach. He talked about, sales. Why? Because they had to do all of these things. And the way that they were judged was in a couple of different ways. One of them was, how did they present in front of the judges with their business plan? And every one of the officers of that business had to present, each and every one of them. And about equal time they were looking for it. And they couldn't go over on time either. Now think about that. Think about what skills they learned on that one as they move forward. Phenomenal. What did I learn on that one? Well, I tell you, one thing I did learn is everything that we've been talking about inside of Toastmasters was there. And there was a recent post about age differences and age groups that should be involved in learning how to become a better speaker. And I'm like, do you still need to become a better speaker when you're 70 years old? I'm like, yeah, it all depends why and what you're doing. Maybe you just decided to retire. It's like, okay, now you want to go promote a hobby and now you want to go share your experiences. So many groups with that. Absolutely. But it's also really, really important for those that are teenagers that are in high school, college, continuing to move. Communication skills are everything. And these students were learning it. So that program they were in, the virtual enterprise group, what they were doing, whether they won or lost, didn't really make a difference. But they did learn how important communication skills was, whether it was on that trade floor or whether it was doing that presentation to the judges about what their business was like. One of the things I took away from that whole thing was the fact of how important those communications are at a very young age. Because the earlier you learn that, the earlier that you learn your confidence about communicating. No, let's rephrase that one again. Is editing on the fly over here, afternoon, Karen. But the more you learn how to be confident in you, the longer you're going to benefit from it and the more impactful you're going to be. And that is absolutely the truth. There are so many places, so many different ways that we benefit from being comfortable standing up in front of a room or standing up in front of a camera or raising your hand in a classroom or raising your hand in a boardroom or sharing your thought. Or maybe it's sharing your comment afterwards when you evaluate the thought processes that are going on. Two people spit out an idea. One thinks it should be done this way. Another one should be done that way. And the leader of the room, the facilitator, the manager, whatever, that's overseeing that project, goes around the room asking everybody so what are your thoughts? Now, if your first thought is, oh my gosh, I got to speak, or oh my gosh, am I all buttoned up, or oh my gosh, did I comb my hair, or what if I say and ah 15,000 times? If that's what you're thinking about, how are you ever going to think about your response to that project that you're working on? Can't do it. Can't do it. I can't do it. Can't do it. There's only so much brain power. And let's keep the comments down on this one here. All right? But there's only so much brain power up there. If I have to use up a lot of that brain power on, oh my, how do I look? And it's easier with the camera. You get a chance to go take a peek over there and realize, oh my, got the collar up in the air. I fixed it before. But if not, you don't have that camera and you're standing there in front of a room and you don't know how you look and you're thinking about it while you're speaking, not good. Not good. If you don't have your ums and ahs, those filler words in check, and you're 2 minutes into it and you've said so or 15 times and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how many times did I say so? How many times do you say no? And then you're adding it up in your head. Are you even thinking about what it is that you're speaking about? I don't think so. I don't think so. So that's not there. So you do need to gain that communication skill and the confidence of you standing in front of the room, the camera, or even if it's on the phone, just being able to share an idea and have an understanding of time management. If you've got 2 minutes to give a thought, you've got 2 minutes to give a thought. If you've got a room of 15 people in a room and there's 30 minutes left for that meeting, you don't want to go on for 10 minutes. You're now cut off the other people that are not going to get a chance to speak. That's not good. Facilitators should tell you in advance just to make sure or cut you off. You also need to be aware that you might be cut off. But it's really up to you to be aware of it. Because if you think that you got 10 minutes to speak on something, and you're 2 minutes into it, and the facilitator says, you know what? Why don't you save the rest of it for later? And you haven't gotten to the point. You missed an opportunity. So all these things that I've done in the past have really helped me gain much greater clarity about how important it is to do this stuff. Yeah, I've gotten up there and I've spoken, I've done that stuff and I did it, whatever. And I learned from my own experiences and stuff like that. And that's important. It's all good. But there definitely is something different about when you're doing something and kind of self-correcting yourself when getting feedback from somebody else, as opposed to when you're doing the teaching, when you're doing the coaching, when you're standing up in front of that room, not to make a presentation, but to help others make their presentation, when it helps others gain their clarity, when it helps others understand what their intrinsic value is, when they don't even know what it is, when maybe they've never even thought about what it is. That ties the whole thing back to these career days, why you should participate in these career days. See, the school's going to benefit from it, absolutely, because they get a chance to check off the box, and hopefully they're doing more than that, but whatever, to say that they've had a career day and they brought in these businesses, the businesses are there. The students benefit from it because they get a chance to meet everybody, which is really nice. You also get a day of trying something and seeing something that's a little bit different, especially that Sachem one, 7:30 to 2. I don't know how often those students are going to be there or how much of a revolving door it's going to be with the whole thing, but it's something different. That's exciting. I remember back in my school days. Hey, something different, that's good. This is something different, that's good. I got a story about one that was a little different, too. How much time we got? Oh, 22 minutes. I'll save that one for another day, but that was another learning moment. Save it for another day. The parents should benefit from it too. Why? Because of you. And this may be the greatest benefit of them all. It really could be. But you. So you're going to go in there and you're going to talk about your business. You're going to talk about your path. You're going to talk about some of the things that you did back in high school, maybe college, maybe afterwards, maybe stuff that you've done in your free time back then, maybe now. But if you can go back in time, if you could take a look at what you have done and you were doing before anybody asked you to do anything, before you were getting paid for it, before you had the responsibility of it. When you volunteered at some nonprofit when you were a teenager because you really felt that you should be doing that. And what did you do? Not so much as the nonprofit itself, but what did you do there? Did you help create the event? Did you help run the event? Were you part of the support team? Did you help out with their marketing of it? Are you in the marketing business now? Maybe you're in the hospitality business now. Do you realize that there might be some sort of a connection with that? Even when you just helped out, were you the one that came up with the idea, or were you the one that made sure that that idea happened? In other words, were you the, for example, just going to throw titles out there, but were you the, let's go, were you the thought leader? Or were you the one that actually made the darn thing happen? And there is leadership ability in both. It's just a different type of leadership ability. There's some people that envision this bridge to be built, but they have no idea how to do it, but they know what it's going to look like. And then there's the person that actually gets the stuff done. Time and time again, that happens. And that's good. Look, that's the creative type. And then there's the mechanical type, the one that really does the work and figures out how to really make that vision come to life. Fantastic when you get two people that work together on that whole thing. They kind of see things in their own way with different skill sets being brought into it. Maybe that was you, though, one of those personalities. And that's what led you to success over here. But maybe you didn't even realize it at the time. That would be unbelievable for you to share with these students. what you're doing now to get the attention of everybody and how successful you are today, and maybe to get the attention of the students and stuff like that. So, oh, you're in this great business. Things are really good. But what is the traits that are needed for them to be you? And if they don't have those traits because you don't know them, if they don't have those traits and you're sitting down there talking to them, well, they may come to the conclusion that that ain't me. Maybe I should go sit at another table. And that's fine. Maybe somebody sitting at another table. They should be coming over there to you. And that's fine. Because what's happening here is these students and then seeing for themselves who they really are. They're gaining clarity with themselves as to what their skills are, what their interests are, where they see themselves. I'm an entrepreneur, or I'm a dedicated employee. An entrepreneur, somebody had used, and I wish I remember who came up with that term, and I would give you credit for it. In the meantime, I just give that to Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous. An entrepreneur. In other words, an employee at a company that's doing things internally, but looking at things creatively for the benefit of the business as a whole. That person grows as an employee, as an entrepreneur. You, as a business owner, will grow your business as an entrepreneur because it's your business. Is there a difference in the mindset? Somewhat. There really is. Some folks are just not destined to run their own business. They don't want that overall responsibility with it. Some of you do. But that creative instinct inside of you, that desire to grow, the desire to make things better, oh, absolutely. There's a metals company that's on Long Island. And when we're talking with him about, what kind of people do you hire? He said, I hire people that just love metal. I was like, really? He's like, is it that simple? He goes, basically, yeah, that love working with metal. Because a lot of stuff they make is not just assembly line things. It's one-off type stuff. It's special pieces for different situations. He said, I like the people that like working with metal, that will think about how to do something. Not that they can't do it, not this is the way we've done it before, but how to do things a little bit different. That's an entrepreneur in the corporate sense. Great stuff. Great stuff. So here's the clarity to you is that you're going to have to take a look back at yourself and see yourself as a teenager. And maybe, just maybe, you're going to now becomes very clear to you as to why you do what you do. It'll become clear to you is why you shouldn't be doing what you do. But chances are, those of you that volunteer for these things are very excited about what it is that you do. So chances are, it's going to be that side of it where you will be able to get clarity about your internal self. And maybe, just maybe, when it comes time for you to develop your elevator pitch, when you talk about your why, you'll be that much stronger on it because you will now be in current time thinking about how you were back in high school. And those things about you then, the way you spent your time then, how that has impacted you today, even if you didn't realize it. And I know it's there. I know it's there. I take a look back on myself with different things, and I know it's there. Tons of examples. And that is why I love doing those opening comments. Because when I stand in front of a group of high school students and I talk to them about that stuff, I let them know that there is just no way I thought that those things I did in high school would turn out to be something that I would eventually look to do now. Who knew? Didn't. Should I have paid attention to it a long time ago? Yeah, I probably should have paid attention to it. But there was always something in my career path. There was always something that I always did and do at the places that I work and at the things that I do, where there is that common thread, without a doubt. And it has to do with speaking. It always did. Always did. It's changed over time. But if I take a look back at all the different places I've worked, there was always that desire to get in front of a room. Some places that I was at, it was fine. Other places, not so good. And that goes to where we should be working. There is the difference on my side of things. you'll gain clarity on yourself when you do this. I do hope that you'll attend one, if not even all three of these things. Remember that Sachem, Mauritius, and Hapag. Plus, there'll be tons of other opportunities as we move along over here. That'll be great. And then when you learn all these things, I'll see you in June. I'll be at the Miller Business Center. We're going to be talking about elevator pitches, right? Your story, your why, how to communicate better, more effectively. But I need you to attend one of these things because that'll have a big impact. Then, when you do the high school career, in April, by taking a look back and who you were back in high school for yourself. Great stuff. Take notes. Speak well. Speak often. Live inspired, my friends. Let's go to the tomato. Tomato it is.